Republicans in Congress have reintroduced legislation that would essentially allow private business owners and even government employees to discriminate against individuals who they deem immoral. And that could include people who are in a gay marriage, a woman who's a single mother, or someone who's had premarital sex. So this was reintroduced by Senator Mike Lee, a Republican of Utah, and it's known as the First Amendment Defense Act, or FADA.
FADA.
FADA, okay.
FADA, that's what it is. FADA.
Okay. So it singles out a specific set of conservative beliefs for special dispensation to discriminate. Those who oppose same-sex marriage and those who oppose sex outside of marriage. So here's the language of the legislation. Share it with you right now. So marriage is or should be recognized as a union of one man and one woman. Two individuals is recognized under federal law, or sexual relations outside marriage are improper. So those are things that people would be allowed to discriminate against you for under this legislation, the First Amendment Defense Act. Now, FADA protects this group from broad actions, okay? So the legislation stipulates they can't be denied any tax benefit and they can't be denied any access to any federal grant, contract, subcontract, cooperative agreement, guarantee, loan, scholarship, license, certification, accreditation, employment, or other similar position or status. It also ensures that federal bureaucrats will never have the authority to require those who believe in the traditional definition of marriage to choose between their living in accordance with those beliefs and maintaining their occupation or their tax status. So this goes a little further compared to legislation that we've talked about previously, in that it offers protection to those who are working as government employees or those who have been given government contracts.
Yes.
So let's talk about the ramifications. So one of the things they could do is, among the list that Anna read about all the different ramifications, is a same-sex couple. One of the people in the marriage says, okay, I'm here to cash my Social Security check. And they go, no, I'm not gonna give you a Social Security check. You're in a same-sex marriage that's against my morals. I don't care about your morals. This allows me to discriminate. Under the guise of preventing discriminatory action against the religious person who would like to discriminate against other people and not apply the laws equally. If this law passes, it literally will allow them to do that. Yep. Whatever you get from the government, if there's a person in that office who has a different religious point of view than you, they can block it. And by the way, it doesn't just have to be Christian. It could be a Muslim who believes in Sharia law. So now that's far less likely in America, right? But theoretically, I mean, if you got a Muslim in office who believes in fundamentalist view of it, he can block everything 8 ways to Sunday, not just for gay couples, but for almost anyone in America, because who isn't having sex before marriage?
Right.
Which poor schmuck isn't having sex before marriage?
Okay, let's go even further than that though. Those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. So Mike Lee, your president, has children from 3 different women. He paid off a porn star days before the election. By the way, a porn star that he slept with and had an affair with while he was married.
But he was married at the time.
To a woman, true.
To a woman.
Right, so. And so, like, the audacity of the right wing passing judgment on the lifestyle of others when the president that they support is just so incredibly disgusting in every way. Like, I mean, come on. By the way, I don't begrudge people who divorce and remarry. I don't care. It's none of my business. I don't care. But I mean, look at his lifestyle. Look at the multiple affairs. Look at the multiple sexual assault allegations against him. And you have the audacity to talk about same-sex couples and people who have sex before marriage?
History's going in the right direction.
No, it's not.
Well, I think it is. I think we're going in the right direction. We have a Supreme Court case that said gay marriage is legal. It's going in the right direction. When that occurs, a lot of ticky-tack crap like this attempts to be made into law. Stuff like, all right, I want to shut down the gay marriage period. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut off funding. If you want to take medical leave and collect money for your spouse or whatever, and it's a gay marriage, I'm going to cut off that money because on whatever level a version of this law goes into place, I'm going to hire some company to execute a federal grant, and I'm intentionally going to hire the equivalent of Hobby Lobby to do it, so that they never have to give that money over. And then here's what's gonna happen. If they pass this, which they won't, this is the third time they've tried. There's 21 sponsors in the-
All Republican.
All Republican in Senate. Benefit of the doubt to them, this is them trying to like curry some kind of favor with the base. It's from Utah, it's largely Mormon, Prop 8 in California, largely funded, the anti-Prop 8 people.
If you don't like gay marriage, just don't get gay married. How
That's
about that?
exactly right.
Just live, like let other people live.
But if you go down the rabbit hole with this, you get this law into effect maybe by voting it, and then it takes a number of years for the Supreme Court to get another case that addresses this specifically, and finally it gets shut down. There'll be an estoppel on it, who knows, but it's just this kind of ticky-tack garbage. They try to find a way to eliminate funding for people and eliminate the granting of marriage licenses for some BS reason.
So let me give you a couple more ramifications because it's serious. Okay, so for instance, employers could fire an unmarried female employee for getting pregnant, because that would indicate she had premarital sex, and very bad, don't do that. Hospitals could refuse to allow visitation to same-sex partners and spouses. Also, commercial landlords could refuse to provide housing to a single mother. The Senate bill, by the way, has 21 Republican co-sponsors, and the Republican National Committee has endorsed it.
But there's no way that, so this, all this says is, this shouldn't be called FADA, this should be called the federal You're Allowed to Be a Dick Act. That's what this is. Because you can just say, like, if I was mad at you, say you wouldn't go on a date with me or whatever, and I was like, I'm not gonna give you your social security check because I know you gave that guy a hand job. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could do that. You could say, I know you're having sex outside of marriage, and now take me to court. And under the court, we're gonna ask you about your sex life.
That's a great point by Jimmy. The burden of proof is on the person who's being denied, not on the person denying them any kind of government benefits. So he doesn't have to prove that you didn't, that you had sex outside of marriage. He just has to say it. He just says, okay, I think you're an immoral person,
right?
And my religion prevents me from helping an immoral person. So then you got to go to court, and if you have to have the money and the lawyer to go to court and say, and then prove that you've never had any sex outside of marriage. That's insane,
right? So you can fire anybody at any moment for premarital sex if this bill passes, and that's that.
Right.
So I want to be really clear about something. You know, whether you think it has a chance of success, doesn't, or you think it's minor, or maybe whatever you might think. Republicans cannot deny that they're in favor of this bill. The Republican National Committee has endorsed it. I didn't make them endorse it. It's not a liberal plot. It's a conservative plot. If you have premarital sex, they think you're an indecent person. They think you're an immoral person who should be judged, and any person that's in government, in big government, should be able to take away all of your benefits because of how deeply immoral you are. I didn't make them do this. They chose to do this because they're the pieces of crap who like to judge everyone else's life. I mean, Anna talked about President Trump. I can give you a laundry list of literally hundreds of elected Republican officials who have done terrible, terrible things in their sex life.
Right.
Yet they come and judge your sex life. They judge your personal life. So, first of all, if you're gay, I don't care if you think you're a classic liberal or whatever you think you are, or conservative, whatever, and you vote for these Republicans, you're I fill in the adjective, idiot, traitor, whatever you want to say, but you're giving away your rights to a party who doesn't want you to have any rights, any rights. And if you do that, okay, moron, then don't come crying later. Oh my God, they said they were going to take away my rights, and then they have Trump and Mike Lee and these guys in office, and it turns out they take away my rights. Well, they told you they were going to do it. Any gay person in America, including Peter Thiel, who's so obsessed with his money, Pete, you're already a billionaire. What more money do you need? Oh, I want those tax cuts, I want those tax cuts. I'm gonna vote away my rights. I don't care, I got power. Maybe it'll affect poor gay people, it won't affect me. I already bought Donald Trump. All those people who are monstrous who vote for the people who support this. And you know what, I thought to Jimmy's point, I thought, how the hell are they going to prove whether people had premarital sex or not? One, I hadn't considered a great point that you made, which is they don't have to prove it, right? Secondly, they're not going to use it against guys. That's why it says single mother over and over again, not in the bill, but in the application. So you can't prove a guy had premarital sex. It's hard to allege, etc., right? But a woman has a child and is not married. So they're going to use it to crush women. So if you're a woman empowering this Republican Party, you should have your head examined. And when they take away your rights, which is exactly what they want to do, don't come crying to us because you're the idiot who voted for this monstrous Republican Party. Have I been clear enough? If you become a member of the Young Turks, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
So do it right now, tytnetwork.com/join. Get the whole Young Turks show every day.